It is 7 minutes past 7. The station is 32 FM 94.9. 26th December 2020. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. And it is Boxing Day, but the program is the Podium, not the boxing. My name is HEZEKIAH AKINRINDE. I apologize that the program is starting behind schedule this morning. We'll move very quickly so that we take full advantage of the time we have. As you would know, Nigeria had a very busy 2020. Nigeria is a country that is not without drama. Whatever you think of the country, it gives you a dose of drama, a dose of poetry, a dose of prose, making literature a very complete endeavor for a country like ours. All through the year, the pandemic, that is called COVID-19, loomed larger than life over every concern of the world, and of course Nigeria was not left out. We started battling the pandemic sometime around late April. It was not taken seriously at some point until the numbers started growing, and then government swung into action. Lagos State led the way in combating the pandemic as the epicenter of that disease. And of course, states like Oyo, Osun, the Federal Capital Territory, Ogun State, Rivers, and some others also joined the chase to ensure that the spread of this disease was curbed. On the political front, betrayals and backstabbing, as some politicians would call it, was the order of the day. Accusations and counter-accusations flew between the two major political parties, the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressives Congress. But a very key measurement of government performance continues to be security. Nigeria, according to commentators, continues to be a very large killing field. The North, especially the Northwest, the Northeast is still quite unsafe. Kaduna has its own history and experience with banditry. Some traditional rulers have been killed by alleged bandits, and in some cases, those they call herdsmen. The president recently said that his service chiefs should be commended because they were doing the best they could. At another point, the president said his service chiefs appeared to be overwhelmed by the situation. And then recently, the president said only God could successfully secure the borders of Nigeria, pushing the responsibility of government on God's shoulders. And then the question you ask is, in 2023, should the people vote God as a president of Nigeria? Did the people make a mistake and trusting President Buhari with the responsibility of securing Nigeria like he promised to do when he was running for president in 2019? State governors say they are powerless. They said they are chief security officers on paper, but nothing really supports them. Nothing really makes them tangible chief security officers. And then the governors of the Southwest came with the Amoteku initiative. Amoteku has started hurting people too. Did you hear the news that came out of Ibadan earlier this week about how Amoteku officers pursued a guy with gun around Alakia? There was an allegation also that a life might have been lost. Well, on the podium this morning, we will be discussing security, or the state of security in Nigeria, and the failure or the success of government. I have with me in the studio today an accomplished author. He is a poet. One of the books he wrote is Sambisa. Okay, I'm going to get that now. Between June 16 and October 14, my guest wrote a collection of poems. He titled it Sambisa, a classic of intercontinental poems. He has also written other books that are widely acclaimed, and then one of them is Terere's Universe. He has an uncanny ability to write books and give them titles that will push your interest. You get concerned, you get motivated. What could this guy be saying in this? He's a public commentator. He has social interests, and he's an author, like I said. I have in the studio with me Angel Michael Folorenshaw. Maybe I'll call you Double Angel for the purpose of this program.
Thank you very much.
Angel, you're welcome to the podium this morning.
Thank you.
Let's start off. How would you describe the security situation in Nigeria?
Well, thank you very much. The security situation in Nigeria is not pleasant as it's supposed to be. The implication of that is, what is security? If we define security as freedom from threat, freedom from danger, freedom from death, and then we'll be able to secure our valuables and then take care of vulnerability. And then, of course, the hardware and the software put together. Then you start looking at it that we are not having it as it's supposed to be, because there are non-state actors taking over the affairs of Nigeria. And when it gets to that point, what do I mean by that one? Then the nation is in trouble. Who will come to a nation where there's insecurity? Who will come and invest where there's insecurity? Who will come for tourism where there's insecurity? Who will go and farm where there's insecurity? So we can say that to some extent, not that the government is not trying, but what they consider as their trial is not good enough. And then we are talking about human lives here. We're talking about property. And then if you have life and then your property is not there, the life is not fulfilled. So therefore, the combination of the life and the property, that is what security should be taken care of. And what do we have? People are dying. You said killing feeds. That is extrajudicial killings. You have them virtually everywhere. In terms of a kidnapping, you see them. In terms of a direct killing, agro-terrorism, people go to farm, they destroy other people's farm under the pretext that they are herdsmen. Which herdsmen? So all these things put together. What about the one that you cannot even measure, the psychological implications of all this thing? You hear, PAM, the booming of guns somewhere. Some will be having certain kind of diseases that hearing that one will have finished them. Nobody will come to them to do anything. That is the traumatic aspect. So these are the things going on in the country. And then the country is just trying to drift in obvious aimlessness.
What were your expectations coming into 2020 as a political watcher and as a citizen as regards security in Nigeria? What expectations did you have at the start of the year?
Yeah, at the start of the 2020 that is winding down. Well, I mean, one would have thought that, there shouldn't be this type of... I so much cherish this right to life and liberty, as stipulated in Article 3 of Universal Declarations of Human Rights, 1948. Right to life and liberty, which is the most important of all other human rights. I don't want anybody to be killed. I want to see it in human rights parlance that an harm against one is an harm against all. But what do we have? We don't see that one. And then one would have loved a kind of a president that will be able to come out and see things, discuss with his people, go to the National Assembly, have rapport with them, so that you make sure that you bring this is national power that you use to face this type of thing. It's not about one person. It's not about harm of government. All the harms, including the Fourth Estate and the rest, will come together. but we could not get that one. Then, of course, this issue of people, the killer S-men going to people's farm, raiding, killing, maiming, raping people, I wouldn't have expected that one at the beginning of the year. But nobody's doing anything about it. Arrest any of this stock, and then nothing will happen. The police won't be able to do anything. Facts are there, and fact is sacred. Comment is free. That's journalism parlance. So all these things, they are there. And then, of course, look at the way the thing is pushing us. That insecurity now pushes us towards recession. As a result, added to COVID-19 pandemic, which is bioterror, which is another form of insecurity. So one would have expected that things will move freely. People will be able to, there will be kind of a clubbing. People will be able to move around, do things freely, but we couldn't get that one. We are holed up. The home is attacked. And when the home becomes attacked, then we flee into the street. And the street is not smiling. Oh, the street is not smiling. Oh.
I'll take a commercial break. When I come back, the conversation continues.
FM 94.9.
Breakfast your day every day with the nourishment of malt, milk and cocoa and the delicious taste of Milo.
Nestle, good food, good life.
ọ̀rẹ́ so ti dọ́fíìsì wọn ṣé mo ṣe wí lórí àwọn èròjà sólà tí mo sọ fún ọ so orí wọn níbẹ̀ lọ́pọ̀ sọ́jà àwọn òwọ́n jù so ti rojúlówó Novell solar product tó jẹ́ ojúlówó ní Novell solar shop so ń gbádùn product wọn.
gbogbo béèrè tó béèrè lọ́wọ́ mi pátá bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo bá.
generator lóríṣiríṣi tó ń lo sólà tí náà fi lè ṣẹ́jú ní tòjò tẹ̀rùn solar water ball iṣẹ́ tiẹ̀ ní kó fami nínú kànga láì lóná ọba solar street light tí ó fààyè gbòkùnkùn bírímù solar fan lóríṣiríṣi tó ń bá ooru bẹ́ẹ̀ fọn wọ̀yá àjà ní Novell solar shops yìí pitimuni solar panel fún títà lórí inverters batteries tó jẹ́ ojú mi dá solar kit solar generator tó ń ro iná lágbára ní gbogbo ìgbà láì sanwó oṣooṣù.
wọ́n rẹ̀ ìròyìn ọ̀tá fojúbà nǹkan kan mo wá lọ ṣùgbọ́n ọjà mẹ́fà mo kó jáde ńbẹ̀.
fún ìwọ tó o ti mọ̀ ó pé ọkọ ra solar product ní Novell solar shop kàn sí Novell solar shop ní Ìbàdàn office Akíndélé plaza opposite Alámọ̀sẹ̀gbà stadium Èkó tẹ̀dó Ìbàdàn telephone 08058544486 ó pé ọ kó o rajà ní Novell solar shop.
I dey think, oh, where the load go come from? I dey think, oh, I look up, I look down, I see phone for my hand, eh? Oh yeah. Express for express load, na sure banker, oh, eh.
Hard life no dey pay anybody o. That na why EcoBank land with Express Loan wey everybody fit get wey dey save with Express Save. Dial *326# to open your own Express Save account today on top your phone. Kpang, you don open am, no wahala. And with Express Save, you go fit get boku chance for Express Loan.
Express Save for express loan, na sure banker, oh, eh.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
In case you're just joining us, the program is The Podium on 32 FM 94.9, and I'm speaking this morning with Angel Michael Folorunsho, who is an author and a public analyst, and we're discussing the state of the nation as regards security. Has the government succeeded or failed? Now, Angel, recently the president said the service chiefs were trying their best. You'd bear in mind that the service chiefs, all of them, have overstayed their years of service already.
Yeah.
And the president has kept them in place since 2015 that he came into power. Would you rate the service chiefs as high as the president appears to rate them?
Thank you very much. The current service chiefs, they have been trying their best in this circumstance. But when you look at the type of warfare they are facing, which is called asymmetrical warfare, that is facing terror or guerrilla strategy, which has no flank. If it were to be that you have flank, you can meet them, wipe them out just like that, but it's not like that. So if it is asymmetrical, then you are in trouble because you'll be having what they call surprise and attack, and then search, preempt, and control. But they are not controlling. They are just searching and then preempting. But they have failed to control. And the reason is being that so many things are going on in terms of intelligence gathering, in terms of intelligence consumption, and in terms of intelligence policy making, and then galvanizing, and of course synergizing those three things. So the service chiefs, they've been trying. I mean, we just have to doff our card and salute those young soldiers that have been killed by all these.
Wait, Angel, I need to cut you there. How do you mean they're trying their best? Is this an attempt? You think really in the circumstances this is the best Nigeria can have?
Yeah, where I'm still going to is this. They have been trying their own best, but their best is not good enough. You can see the reversal of fortune there. And but we will not make as an oversight those that have died in the course of making sure that Nigeria is secured. Those young ones and even the senior ones in the hands of the Boko Haram terrorists. So, but when you now look at this issue of the service chiefs vis-a-vis the thinking of the president is currently concerned with holding on to government, not necessarily to power. The current president is in government, is not in power, as we are speaking. And the implication of that is that anything that will make President Buhari to be in power and that will not bring about a kind of maybe being tear gassed, and of course, he will want to do that one. And if by ensuring that the service chiefs are there for him, as long as he is secure in government, he won't listen to the cacophony of voices everywhere that the service chiefs are not, they should be laid up. No, he knows the reason. And part of the reason is his own security. The service chiefs will be able to secure him, the one that he believes in now.
Their loyalty to
him is there, and then of course, and it's also it's not supposed to be like that. The allegiance of military people, all security should be to the republic and the constitution. They have not got it right here in Nigeria. Unlike America and others, they are not operating on the basis of coding. They are looking at the body language of their leader. That's not the way to run in this age. This age is so delicate. I mean, this digital age, because there are some things to contend with in terms of some D's. This is the age of disruption, age of distraction, age of destruction, age of discontinuity, age of decision instability. And strategic decay put together. You cannot run, you cannot read, you cannot fast track your thinking. No, you can't beat all those other people with crimogenic tendencies. They will just be outsmarting you and be getting rid of, and then you'll be putting the policy into plummeting the thing, and then of course making the image of the government to look dirty and dirtier at the international level, and bringing about disinvestment in that type of environment. So looking at it from that angle, but yeah, you have the president that does not necessarily care about maybe what people are saying as such. It's not about that, as long as he doesn't even come to come and address us. So these are the things that we are looking at. The service chiefs, whether you ask them to go or you still continue to keep them there, the type of warfare and the tactics and strategies being used now will take them nowhere. The thing will continue unabated.
But how difficult do you think it is to defeat an army, a ragtag army, so to say, that is invading different towns in Nigeria? These guys don't appear to be coming from outside. I mean, Sambisa Forest has been said to be their stronghold.
Yeah.
And how big is Sambisa Forest? Because Nigeria itself is not as big as the state of Texas.
Yeah, Sambisa Forest, they said those who have gone through that, passes across about 5 nations. It's as big as Southwest. So who says Sambisa Forest is as big as the whole Southwest? Which means something, you may even be somewhere in the Ibadan here for years without anybody knowing what is going on, maybe around some other areas. But the basic thing is that the thing that they are fighting, this asymmetrical warfare, is globalized. It has gone beyond what Nigeria can control. The earlier they know that one, the better. They cannot. And part of the reason is that we discussed that thing in Kaduna when they were organizing what they call city security. That conference was opened by the governor of Kaduna State, El Rufai, about 4 years ago. City security. I mentioned certain things on that occasion. All who they came there, all these generals and some other things. I went there for just one paper. And what did I say? I said, the issue of Sino-Nigerian relations, that is, Nigeria fraternizing with China. You are not checking that area. China is considered undemocratic nation, regardless of whether they are big or they are making money or whatever. Heavily undemocratic. The human rights record 0. And you are gradually ignoring the West. You don't know the implication. The implication is they are not looking at that direction. It's only one man that came out and said, you have raised critical issue.
Even our export figures. I was looking at Nigeria's export figures in, Nigeria's import figures for 2020. And I saw that Nigeria is tilting, is leaning towards the east more than ever now, because China was responsible for over 30% of what we imported, and even in terms of exports, we are moving more towards the east. I'm just trying to use that to reinforce
and
what
then,
you're saying.
Thank you very much. And that one is leading to what they want to yuanize the Chinese currency, yuanization of the naira, where it will get to a stage that why you want to buy something from China now, you now want to go through dollar to dollarize your thing before you now buy. And they said things will be cheaper because you directly be exchanging with China straight, naira to yuan.
Are you positing that Nigeria's emerging relationship with China is the reason the West is ignoring supporting us in this fight?
It's a very critical. You cannot even determine the source of this, the extent to which terrorism has gone now. You can't determine.
You think the West? Are you saying the West is sponsoring terrorism?
I wouldn't want to say that one, but you will go into what they call lotus strategy. You remove layer 1, onion, layer 2, layer 3. Your real doer, the person that is doing you, may be at the center, and you will just be looking at the 2 peels of the layer. That's an error.
What is your analysis of the situation?
Well,
who do you think is fighting Nigeria?
Nigeria is fighting herself because it's not a well-structured nation. That one is a threat on its own. The composition of Nigeria as it is a threat. It's a security threat for any discerning mind anywhere in the world. Only those who don't want to care and they don't understand anything, that will just think the way Nigeria is structured is okay. Because if a nation is a threat on its own, the lacuna of that threat will bring in terror. The terrorists will come and then they enter into this, because what they are supposed to do, they will say, they will be pointing at the errors of the nation. And then people are now trying, let us do something about it. Then two, another enemy is all these neighboring nations, Niger, Chad, part Cameroon, and Burkina Faso, and then Mali.
How could they be enemies?
They are enemies. They are deceiving themselves under the so-called ECOWAS, whatever. It is when we have, I've been saying it anywhere I go, it is when we have Nigeria you can have ECOWAS. Talk about your nation. A nation is now rattled by terror. You are now talking about opening your borders to some elements and people who are coming in, border on arrival. Have you forgotten?
But these nations are collaborating. So with Nigeria.
I mean, when you are talking
there
about...
There was a time Niger, Chad Republic. Yeah. Chad Republic came in and they routed our Boko Haram terrorists at their border.
The terrorists are still in that Chad region. They are still there. They are moving in and out of those neighboring nations. Even in Niger, you have the jihadist terrors there, part of their zone, struggling with them there. They are just coming, they will go. They will come, they will go. Where are they running to? What do you do with that type of thing? What's the role of the SSS? What are they doing? You project, you go into other nations, you go around, anything that will bring crisis, you finish it in their own country. You don't let them bring it, like America will go. Send the CIA, go anywhere to go and finish them before they come to their own territory. What are we doing? Except we just be chasing the Ganifa, may Lord rest his soul, be looking for people to arrest and detain. The security has gone beyond that one. Paradigm shift is the key thing now from national security to human security. And human security is predicated on 2 arms. 1, freedom from fear, and freedom from want. That's all. Any other, go look at it at international level. That's what it's about. Human being now. It's no longer about the territory. It's about human being. Who should be killed? Who should allow to be killed? And then who should determine somebody to be killed? Just like that. You understand? A scientist, somebody, look at all these boys that they are talking about being abducted there and there. Just one scientist. The fortune of Nigeria can change. So why do you not just allow somebody just to be killed just like that? So these are the issues that we need to look into. Nigeria is a security threat on its own. Then the neighboring countries, they are there. The Western world that you are gradually ignoring. That's another factor.
I'm going to hold you right there, Angel, so that we're going to commercial break. When we come back, I would love to interrogate the conspiracy of the West against Nigeria on security matters. And then, is China, towards whom Nigeria is leaning, supporting Nigeria enough, or is it just about economic exploitation? The podium returns in a moment. Please don't go anywhere.
32 FM 94.9.
What's happening in Ibadan? A new sheriff is in town and his agenda has 4 points.
Oh yes, he does.
Fast.
Check.
Convenient.
Check.
Safe.
Check.
Affordable.
Check.
Ibadan.
Your safe border is here.
Get 20% off all rides for the rest of the month when you ride with Safe Border.
Safe border, safe Okada.
The Safe Border app is available for free download on all app stores.
ọ̀rẹ́ so ti dọ́fíìsì wọn ṣé mo ṣe wí lórí àwọn èròjà sólà tí mo sọ fún ọ so rí wọn níbẹ̀ lọ́pọ̀ sọ́jà àwọn òwọ́n jù so ti rojúlówó Novest Solar product tó jẹ́ ojúlówó ní Novest Solar shop so ń gbádùn products wọn.
gbogbo béèrè tó béèrè lọ́wọ́ mi pátá bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo bá.
generator lóríṣiríṣi tó ń lo sólà tí náà fi lè ṣẹ́jú ní tòjò tẹ̀rùn solar water ball iṣẹ́ tiẹ̀ ní kó fami nínú kànga láì lóná ọba solar street light tí ó fààyè gbòkùnkùn bírímù solar fans lóríṣiríṣi tó ń bá ooru bẹ́ẹ̀ fọn wọ̀yá àjà ní Novest Solar shops yìí pitimuni solar panel fún títà lórí inverters batteries tó jẹ́ ojú mi dá solar kit solar generator tó ń ro iná lágbára ní gbogbo ìgbà láì sanwó oṣooṣù.
wo ọ̀rẹ́ ìròyìn ọ̀tá fojúbà nǹkan kan mo wá lọ ṣùgbọ́n ọjà mẹ́fà mo kó jáde ńbẹ̀.
fún ìwọ tó o ti mọ̀ ó pé ọkọ ra solar product ní Novest Solar shop kàn sí Novest Solar shop ní Ìbàdàn office Akíndélé plaza opposite Alámọ̀ṣẹ̀gbà stadium Èkó tẹ̀dó Ìbàdàn telephone 0058544486 ó pé ọ kó o rajà ní Novest Solar shop.
Yálùmọ̀ Bitters dé okun àtagbára tá a nílò láti máa ṣiṣẹ́ akọni bí Yálùmọ̀ Bitters bá ń bẹ lárọ̀ọ́wọ́tó mi kì í rẹ̀ mí o ẹ̀mí wọn naturalist care limited ló ṣe é o.
Yálùmọ̀ Bitters ó yálùmọ̀ kàrà yálùmọ̀ gàrà ọ̀kasani tó ń gómọkùnrin kàkà bàjá ṣiṣẹ́ bí àrìrà lágọ̀ ara àkàmọ́yé gbòógì ni wọ́n fi ṣẹjọ́ Yálùmọ̀ Bitters tó ń fúnni lókun àtagbára tá a nílò láti máa fakọyọ ṣẹṣẹ akọni kọ́pá yìí ó náà tọ̀tọ̀ kára ó yá gágá Yálùmọ̀ Bitters ni o NAFDAC fòǹtẹ̀lù iléeṣẹ́ mi one naturalist care limited ló ṣe é ó wà number 17 ọba Akínyẹlé street off Adéògùn Aláàfin avenue Olúyọ̀lé estate ring road Ìbàdàn telephone 08052255073 àti 08034051533 Yálùmọ̀ Bitters ti wà ní chemist àti pharmacy stores lágbègbè rẹ tójúmọ́ lálágbàtà ń pọ̀ sí Yálùmọ̀ Bitters káì ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀.
Safasa pelisizo simnyama Iwasafa isizo saba
The program is The Podium on 32 FM 94.9. This is the voice of HEZEKIAH Oluwaseun Akinrinde. And my guest is Angel Michael Folorunsho, the double angel. Angel insists that Nigeria leaning towards China and abandoning, that's what he called it, the West, is dangerous for Nigeria. And he believes it is why Nigeria is yet to defeat her security challenges. Angel is saying the West used to be the friend of Nigeria, and now Nigeria is moving over to the side of China, a nation that is undemocratic, a nation that has a history of abusing human rights. Now, Angel, for all you hate China for,
I don't want to hate China.
China is the second largest economy in the world.
Yeah, it will soon dominate now.
And in the next 20 years, it has been projected to beat America to that top spot.
Yes.
China has the largest army in the world.
Yes.
And it has a sophisticated security system. Do you think Nigeria is wrong to abandon the West that has exploited her for decades? The Bretton Woods institutions came from the West. Is Nigeria wrong to move towards China, that is the emerging global superpower? Is it not just a case of Nigeria positioning itself for another sugar daddy that is going to emerge in 20 years?
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, if a nation has turned herself to a kind of bride to all suitors, then there's one day that nation will just get floundered like a ship that does not even have benefit of a compass, now moving at sea, wasting time and energy and then progress. So what we're saying in essence is that there is no way that Nigeria will say that you want to go with China. First Republic, we were even doing better than them, statistically speaking, when you talk about business and whatever. That's why it's strange, all these Asian tiger, Korean, what have you. But what do we have today? Now, Nigeria has been turned to a consumeristic nation, dumping ground, anything goes. All is about importing. Our own things we don't want. And you talk about exploitation from the West. Yes, of course. Exploitation in terms of colonialism and then neo-imperialism. But the basic thing, even internally, are we not exploited? We still have some races that are still exploiting other races here. But that is not it. Can you get anything outside from China, aside from the economic interest? Will China follow you to go and fight anywhere anyhow? Forever. But China they don't get time for things like that. They don't go. Whereas America would have expended, which she's been criticized for, some of his energy or his police, his soldier, all his arsenals and what have you.
But does America fight for anyone where they don't have economic and political interest?
Yeah, it's always like that. But the basic thing is that this thing, you should have done it in a subtle and strategic manner. You should have planned for it through scenario planning. You don't just yank them off just like that. What I'm saying now, some people say, what is this man talking? They will never get it. Some are even saying they should invite them to come and help us. You do that one, you turn Nigeria into full blast Afghanistan. And that one is very, very dangerous.
If you invite who?
America to come and help you, or these Western to come and, some are suggesting that they should come and help you. They won't want to waste their own people. All that will be happening is that you'll be seeing some things going on. You may need some, what do they call it, warfare, equipment, all this arsenal, whatever, and you may not get as expected. So some are suggesting that you can go through proxy indirectly to another areas, and then you buy. The basic thing is that, are you going to fight terror with military machine alone? You won't get an answer.
So what do you use to fight terror?
Oh God, you need what they call national power. Out of about 11 strategies, they are using one, and that one is military option. And you are killing people who want to die anytime. That even they are dead, will give them certain things in wherever they call the meet 63, 76.
Aljana.
Ladies or whatever. So, and then this is the war of ideology, spiritual ideology, religious ideology. Let's put it religious, in the sense that, and all this terror thing is against democracy. That's another thing. So, and you are tending towards a nation that is undemocratic. That's a contradiction. Any terror, history of terror, is against democracy, because some group don't like democratic principles whereby people will be talking things. They want dictatorship. That's why you see the color of this government. You see the color. They talk about element of democracy, latter-day Democrats here and there. You see what they are doing is purely undemocratic. They do. Rule of law is zero, human rights zero, name it. Human life is just does not worth anything. So, but in democracy, they do what they call open access or open government, whereby people will come together, explain them. But some leaders, they don't want things like that. And that is the position of China, which is just for some time. I know democracy will see creep into China, and China will be opened up in future.
Now, let's take this. If Nigeria, according to you, has fallen out with the West by betraying the relationship that once existed, and now Nigeria moves towards China, and China is not lifting a finger to help Nigeria in the fight against domestic terrorism.
Right.
Now, is it not time for African nations to be their own friends? Don't you think it is time for Nigeria to sit back and reconsider? If the West will not help me and China is not rescuing me, is it not time for Nigeria to look within and say, how do I make me my own friend?
That's it. That you have spoken something that is good and then strategic and then of course patriotic. This issue of aligning here and there, will not get this nation anywhere. Discover just one scientist, and the fortune of a nation is changed. You don't waste people. You have a lot of brainy elements here in this part of the world that can come together. But what do you have? If, for example, in this their security thing, APC is talking about how to secure the nation. You see politics. PDP will be saying another thing. Whereas in this period, it demands coming together, synergizing, and then collective memories and collective salvage or salvaging, so that we can get ourselves out of this wood. What do we have? They are ethnicizing security. What do we have? They are bringing religiosity that is devoid of humanity into security. Forgetting that if you are not alive, you cannot go to your church, let alone to your mosque or ashram or shrine. So the basic thing is that we can come together using national power that they use to fight terror. Look inward. Forget about ethnicity. Forget about religion. Let your religion be your personal matter. And then you are your God. The rest you leave to us. Secularize all these things. Bring people together. Now talk about our life, our health, our education, and our food security, which connect all humanity everywhere. And then we look in what you have said.
But can any nation stand on its own?
No, you cannot stand on your own. You still do what they call international relations, and that one is normal. And then in terms of international trade, balance of trade, terms of trade, the trades have never been balanced. Even information order has never been barrage of information is being sent to the developing nation. The question is that for how long will you live and continue to be basking in the euphoria of that developing nation? And then instead of all these things, you cannot stand on your own. But the moment you develop, take for example, it's just an example, Yoruba race, if Yoruba race develops, and then Yoruba goes into Ifa, I'm just citing Ifahology, and the depth of Ifa as far as computer development is concerned, and then you are using your language like China is using his language. There are certain things that will be developing that others will not even know about.
Which language will Nigeria use?
That's it.
Which language do you want Nigeria to use?
They can forge
a country that is heterogeneous.
Yes.
Which language? In culture, in language, in customs.
That's right.
In tradition.
Yeah, I mean that's why they have Lingua Franca using English language, and then they are now turning towards French. Now they are studying in Mandarin, this Chinese language again. Nigeria is operating parasitology. Parasite. It can't even stand in spite of elements that are so sound and word beaters. So I am not contending about language for now, because I mean, like you have said, if religion alone, some group cannot even lead religion in some quarters. Can you imagine? And they are the same. There is no patriotism here. We are just talking about it. People prefer to go to their circle and then be talking. They can't talk, I'm a Nigerian. Can you imagine? Like America will say, I'm an American. These are the issues that we need to be looking into, and the leaders have refused. And that's why anytime there's election, they go ethnic, ethnocentrism, they go religion, they go so many things that are so primordial, anti-human and dehumanizing. You will look and say, did they go to school, or school went through them? I mean, so these are the things that are bothering people, and others are laughing at us, and they are watching us.
What do you think will rescue Nigeria from this security? If I'll use a big grammar like you do, from this security malady, this security quagmire, what will rescue Nigeria?
Well, what will rescue Nigeria from this type of thing? One, we have to come together. Then two, don't politicize security. All of us will come together. Then three, SSS and other security something should search, preempt, and control. We didn't get here today. It's a function of what have been happening, the misdeeds of yesteryears.
Oh, but do you think they really don't know what is happening with the reports you've had? Now, I have seen videos of some servicemen, right, even some young guys who would speak and suggest conspiracy at the highest level, betrayals, in-house betrayals. Right. Do you really think that Nigeria is that poor on intelligence gathering?
Yeah, Nigeria is very, very poor with regard to certain aspects.
Let me give you an example. Okay. During the EndSARS protests,
right,
it didn't take 5 days for the government to establish the sources of funding for the EndSARS protests, and that was why the CBN allegedly gave some instruction or directives to some banks to shut down some accounts because they were able to trace
that's an error.
That these are the accounts funds are coming from, to finance this protest.
Those that are demonstrating.
Yet the same government has been unable to establish the source or sources of funding for the terrorists in the past 7 years. So would that not lend credence to the conspiratorial theory?
That's it. Sambisa is a cash cow. Some people will never want that place to remain the same again. Then, in addition to that one, terror financing. And that's why they have all this money laundering act around there. Instead of chasing that one, they'll be chasing just small depositors around there to bring money, and then where they get their source and so on and so forth. And those boys doing maybe all the yah whatever. So, but the basic thing is that any time there's terror anywhere, it goes beyond just looking at it from the angle of military hardware. There are other things that can be called accessory to terror. And then that one is, one, we have terror financing. Some group of people are financing the thing. In order to destabilize this country, we have two types, domestic and international terrorism. We have got both now in Nigeria. And then, two, there is narcotic terror. Narcotic terrorism, whereby people are doing drugs, proceed from that drugs, using it out to finance illicit. Even these, they are oil. Some are being hijacked in order to make sure that they use it to finance terror. Those nations that don't want Nigeria to be stable. And then internally, we are colonizing ourselves. Some groups see themselves as they want to dominate in this country. And that lacuna will bring, some will now be looking elsewhere. If we are doing this one to ourselves internally, let any external something comes and then finish the nation, and then that's all. So these are the issues that we should look into. And then, of course, in looking into all these things, the political party leaders, they are keeping quiet. I don't know where they do things like that. What is the security policy of APC in their manifesto? Is it just to be left to one president somewhere who has just gone through the platform of that political party to become a president, and then nobody can call him to order or change something? These are the issues we need to look into. And then, of course, the issue of this narcotic aspect. The basic thing about terror is that a terrorist will first of all devalue his target. Once the value of the target is devalued, then the next thing is attack. And then what do? We do several things. When we have effective judicial system, how many of them have been arrested and then prosecuted? As regards this thing, 100 terrorists were arrested in Egypt, some maybe months now ago. What happened? They were tried, found guilty, and then told that they were not fit to live in human community. What do we have today? People will be killing others on their farm, cutting their arms, raping their wives, and somebody will be presiding over that type of nation. Say he's a president, and he'll be listening to things like that, seeing those things going on, and nobody can call him to order at the political party level, which is supposed to be supreme to anybody who has used that platform to run for an election.
But the president is the leader of the party.
Which leader?
So who's going to call him to order?
That's an error in the presidential system. It is a pity that all political scientists, political philosophers in Nigeria, they are watching things going by this way. We are not running a Westminster cabinet system. We are not running a British types. We are running presidential system. In presidentialism, the president or governor will face governance. The chairman of the political party will be running political party, and that's why this one, they don't understand the difference between governing and campaigning. They are doing the two together.
That's so even when they are in office, they are
still campaigning. Look at billboards everywhere. You just pave maybe 2 kilometers of road, you now put billboard. Is that the next thing? And you have state radio, you have a national radio. You now go and do billboard. You are doing it. You start asking questions. This one, do they even understand what it takes to run digital economy, digital age, developing age of speed and knowledge, age of discontinuity, that decision taking 12 noon by 3 p.m. is no longer working. Oh my God, that's what those SRS boys showed. Those one, they brought digital thinking into their something. So they are telling them that men or women, the way you are running is outdated. You understand? Bring people who understand what this age calls for. We should not deceive ourselves. These people, they are delaying, they are wasting time. They don't even get anything. And the terrorists you are fighting against, they are sophisticated. They are not meeting anywhere. They are using internet to coordinate and to make sure that even all the way from Britain, somebody will say is going to fight in Syria without seeing any leader anywhere. And then they are doing what they call strategic communication method, downloading things and then bringing things down. Here, any little, instead of harnessing and galvanizing support of all these young ones who understand digital system and put them into this practice, they are fighting them. They are chasing them. They are saying they should answer. Why shouldn't they answer? If you are killing people, you say you are police, you are killing people. Is that your role? Is that your role? That's why I said they push out to this thing. Look at what happened again. I have been saying it anywhere I have opportunity like this. That why should Yusuf Muhammad 41, the head of Boko Haram gang, should be killed? Arrested by the army, handed over to the police, die in the cell. Did anybody challenge the police who was supervising that one? Where is this man, former governor of Borno State, who is going about now gallivanting? Alimadu Sharif something. Where is he? He was fraternizing with the Boko Haram before. Now all of a sudden he went silent. Now the thing is, this man is bankrolling a lot of things in Niger Republic. Remember the time he called Jonathan, the former president, to Niger to solve that certain problem. Whereas all these people, they are keeping quiet because they know what they're doing, and they are trying to, in a manner that is unequal, now think that what has happened in South, that is insurgency, comparing it to what is happening in the North, they have not got it right. They have to think about it and then change their policy and tactics.
Bismarck, kungaga dwangaga. On the final note, okay, Angel, before I let you go, because by 8 a.m. I'm going to have a telephone chat with the Chief Press Secretary to the Oyo State Governor on the issue of the state government having allegedly given out COVID palliatives to party members and government loyalists as Christmas gifts. The news broke yesterday, and now, Angel, community policing has been on the table for a while. The government appears to approve of it. That look, we will reform the police. Let's see how far we can go with community policing. But then, governors of the Southwest put the first foot on the water to say, let's create a Amotekun security network. Amotekun has come, and controversies have already started trailing that idea of Amotekun. Would you still agree that community policing is right for a country like Nigeria, considering our psyche?
Thank you very much. Community policing is a ruse. Anything that will be controlled by this so-called central government over the state in this age is zero. You can't get anything.
But even Amotekun that is controlled by the state has started generating its own controversies.
Amotekun is a cosmetic arrangement. You know what cosmetic does. I mean, just temporary.
Now wash.
Because we don't have anything on ground. Rather than for the Yoruba people to be watching and then getting their people killed, they have been an empire before. What is happening that some group of elements will just come and be running over Yoruba, Yoruba, and then you think people will be watching. Thank God they set aside their political differences and then but Amotekun, with all these allegations, I think they should focus. Why I say Amotekun is a temporary thing is that Amotekun does not have prosecutorial power, cannot prosecute if they arrest. Can they? No. The real issue these people are dodging at the center. These people, they are wasting our time. One, we need multi-level policing. They know this is federal system, as obtained in Belgium, obtained in America, Canada, and Australia. These are federal system. Even Switzerland, where they are using collegiate system of presidency. These people, they know all these things. They are wasting our time. They are pushing the evil days forward. Let them hear if they care. We need multi-level policing, and we need what they call I-policing, which is intelligence structured policing. What is multi-level policing? There will be state police, there will be federal police, there will be local government police, there will be city police, there will be institutional police. Who are these people saying no? Because they know they are getting things from this over-centralizing trend, which is going to scatter the nation if care is not taken. Restructure now or you rot. rupture.
Angel Michael Faloronshaw on the podium this morning. I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
It has been a nice time engaging you. I'll take a commercial break. When I come back from this break, I will be on a call with the Chief Press Secretary to the Oyo State Governor, Mr. Taiwo Adisa, and we will be discussing if it is true that the Oyo State government gave out food items that were meant to be palliatives for COVID-19 to party faithfuls and the government loyalists. Please don't go anywhere. The podium returns in a moment.
32 FM 94.9.
Breakfast your day every day with the nourishment of malt, milk and cocoa and the delicious taste of Milo.
Nestle, good food, good life.
Revolution Plus ìkórèdé pẹ̀lú Revolution Plus Christmas goodie box promo. Kérésì ọdún yìí máa yàtọ̀ jọ. Oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀bùn ló ti wà ńlẹ̀ fún ti Christmas goodie box promo. Bí ẹ bá ti san àsánlé owó fún àwọn ilẹ̀ wa tó wà ní Èkó, Abẹ́òkúta, Ṣímáwá, Ìbàdàn àti ìlú Àbújá. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ kẹẹ̀ẹ́dógún oṣù kọkànlá ọdún 2020 sí ọjọ́ kẹẹ̀ẹ́dógún oṣù kìíní ọdún 2021. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá san àsánlẹ̀ 50,000, 100,000, 250,000 àti 500,000 naira fún àwọn ilẹ̀ wa. Àwọn ẹ̀bùn bíi àpò rẹsì, òróró, adìẹ ọdún àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ti wà ńlẹ̀ fún yóò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá tún wá fẹ́ kó tún yàtọ̀. Ẹ san àsánlẹ̀ 1 million, 2.5 million, 3 million tàbí 5 million. Ẹ ti láǹfààní àwọn ẹ̀bùn bíi smart TV, washing machine, òróró, ewúrẹ́, àgbò, màálù àti àwọn míì lọ́kàn òjọ̀kan. Kódà ìwé raffle ticket fún ìdíje tẹ́tẹ́ oríire àti lọ Dubai lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Òǹgá wà ńlẹ̀.
08087729747 tàbí 08053034981.
Revolution Plus Property ilé ìrọ̀rùn lówó dákọ̀mu.
Ó dé ohun tá à ń wí ó dé.
Mọ̀mí Adé èwo la tún rí gbọ́ o mo mọ̀ wípé a kì í gbọ́ irú orin yìí lẹ́nu yín lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́.
Dádì Adé ṣe bí ìròyìn ayọ̀ ni mo mú wá fún àwọn ará agbègbè Challenge, Mọ̀lété, Oríta, New Garage, Sanyo, Sọ́kà, pàápàá jùlọ Fẹ́lẹ́lẹ̀. Pé ilé ìtajà Living Proof Supermarket tún ti kalẹ̀ gbà sí Fẹ́lẹ́lẹ̀ báyìí o.
Irọ́ o, ṣé Living Proof Bakery and Supermarket kan náà tá a ti ń ra oúnjẹ jíjẹ, ọtí ẹlẹ́rìndòdò, ìpara, toiletries ní manufacturer's price yẹn kọ́ ni.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, ẹ ti já sí i. Ìrọ̀rùn gbà ní shopping bá dé báyìí o. Ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ kì í fi sardine bread Living Proof ṣeré rárá. Ó ń gbóná fẹlifẹli lẹ́wọ̀n máa jẹ gbogbo bread wọn. Torí baking machines wọn dúró sẹpẹ́ ní gbogbo outlet wọn ni. Ẹ ò tí ì gbọ́ tán o. Ṣé rí oúnjẹ tí ẹ fi ṣe lunch last week yẹn Living Proof Eatery ni mo ti rà á. Nítorí náà ibẹ̀ ni mo fẹ́ kẹ́ gbé wa lọ fún dinner lọ́la o.
Mo jẹ́rìí ẹ̀ ìyàwó mi.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni èmi ò tẹ̀lé gbogbo kíní kan price wọn. Manufacturer price ní Living Proof Supermarket ń ta gbogbo nǹkan tiwọn o. Living Proof Bakery and Supermarket wà ní ìdojúkọ ilé epo Mẹ́ínà lọ́nà ológun ẹrú ní Ẹlẹ́yẹlé àti Living Proof Bakery and Supermarket tí a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣí ní ilé ìtajà Pinnacle tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ ọ̀nà Challenge Ìdí-Odò sí Fẹ́lẹ́lẹ̀ Ìbàdàn. Fún àlàyé ẹ pè
08035457120
tàbí 08154664418.
Hello. Guy, honestly, times are hard. Things are generally expensive, and Christmas is here again. The worst is, price is very expensive. I don't know what to do.
Well, I understand your lamentation, but the truth is, now who pass no book. Guess what? You can get a whopping 20% discount on every size and bag of Titan rice you buy only at 32FM 94.9 Cocoa House, Dubai, Ibadan. Titan rice is good, not mushy, particles free, rises well, devoid of stones and dirt, and is very delicious. Besides, Titan rice is available at stores and supermarkets near you. So, what are you waiting for? Become a Titan by getting yours today. Contact Titan Farms today on 0906 007 9714. You can also visit our website on www.titanfarms.org. Get active on our social media handles at Titan Farms NG for more information. Titan Rice, your 100% double Sotex Parboiled rice.
Sílẹ̀kùn ọdún tuntun pẹ̀lú oore tuntun New Zealand Employment Offer 2021. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, FMH International Human Resources ti bọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wáṣẹ́ sókè òkun tí wọ́n sì ti ṣoríire láti pàṣẹ wọn. Ìwọ ni ire kan, ó yá gbóríwọ New Zealand pẹ̀lú owó tí ò ga jara lọ. Ní New Zealand, $18 ni wọ́n ń san fún wákàtí kan, approximately 1.5 million naira gẹ́gẹ́ bí owó oṣù. Gbígba visa àti àwọn ìwé tó ṣe pàtàkì míì lọ ṣiṣẹ́ ní New Zealand láàrin ọjọ́ mọ́kànlélógún sí ọgbọ̀njọ́ 21 to 30 days processing ni. Fíforúkọsílẹ̀ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ wàyí bẹ̀rẹ̀ látọjọ́ kẹtàdínlógún oṣù kejìlá December December 17, 2020 títí di ọjọ́ kọkànlélọ́gbọ̀n oṣù kìíní ọdún 2021 January 31st, 2021 15 to 20% discount wà lórí gbogbo owó tí ẹ bá san. FMH International Human Resources Àjàkẹ́tà àti Ìkẹsàn Cocoa House Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn telephone 0817 4444 627 tàbí 0816 873 7222. New Zealand Employment Offer 2021 sílẹ̀kùn ọdún tuntun pẹ̀lú oore tuntun.
All right, thank you for staying with me. The program is The Podium on 32 FM 94.9. And as I told you earlier, that I'll be having a chat with the Chief Press Secretary to the Oyo State Governor, Mr. Taiwo Adisa, on the allegations that the state government shared COVID-19 palliatives to party members and government loyalists to celebrate Christmas. On the line I have with me, Mr. Taiwo Adisa. Good morning, Mr. Adisa.
Yeah, good morning, John. Merry Christmas and wishing you this evening.
Same to you, sir. And thank you for joining me on the program this morning.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, and the news broke late Thursday evening. That was December 24, with pictures on the internet that the government, the Oyo State government, had started sharing food items that were to be palliatives to party members and government loyalists. And truly, on some of the cartons, you could see CACOVID, the CACOVID sticker on some of the cartons. How true is this allegation?
Well, that's the business allegation anyway. Business unfounded allegation. Yes, you will see that that's the first time that anything about COVID is being shared in Oyo State. Yes, it's true that we shared COVID-19 palliative there. That is the fifth round of COVID-19 palliative that Oyo State is sharing. Now, the wrong aspect of it is to say that palliatives were shared to party members and whatever. That's not true. Palliatives were shared to deserving Oyo State people. Palliatives were shared to civil servants who were also part of the 4 rounds, one of the 4 rounds that we shared earlier, who were also part of the lines that we have demarcated. We've demarcated different categories of people as needful of the palliatives. One, you have the poorest of the poor, which was flagged off, which was the first set flagged off by Governor Seyi Makinde in the Barapa axis of Oyo State. You also have the frontline workers. You also have the people with living with disabilities. You have civil servants as well as part of it. You have market men and women. You have categories like that. You have farmers also, like different categories like that. So that we are distributing to one of the category of lines that we have demarcated, that we have identified as needful of the palliative, does not mean they are party men, does not mean that they are loyalists of the governor or whatever. They are people desirous or needful, need of these palliatives. The way we distribute palliatives in Oyo State has always been confusing to the opposition, because they always want commotion. This time we distribute things of Governor Seyi Makinde is doing one thing or the other. The opposition is always anxious to see commotion or wanting to turn it upside down. That's what you see on the internet. It's the handiwork of people who are jobless and who are just trying to paint everything that we do here black. We say to them, they should go and look for jobs to do. Because those who hired them before, a lot of them are no longer interested in sponsoring them. So they are looking for ways to convince their sponsors that they are still relevant. That's why you see some people posting up banners of wrong things about Oyo State. That's not true. What we are doing here is that we have clearly identified, we have clear data that shows the people that are needful of these palliatives, and we are taking them one step after the other. Mind you, we initially, Governor Shima Kende said that from the start of the lockdown, people are in need of palliatives, and he will have started distributing palliatives to people immediately. They didn't meet reliable data on ground, so it took us like one month plus to be able to gather data of poorest of the poor, which we wanted to start with and which we eventually started with. And so we continue from there. And now that we have secured enough data that can take us around the different categories of people, we have started the 5th round. So people should not be trying to blackmail something that is a good initiative.
Okay, but in the times past, when such palliatives were shared, now the government usually notified the public that, look, on X day, we will be sharing the second round of the palliatives. It was done in Iseyin, it was done in, I think, Oyo, and when it even started in Ibadan.
No, the government usually notify the people involved. The government does not need to go and make public service announcement to the general public that, we're going to be sharing. If you are not,
but we always had a heads up, Mr. Adisa. I saw on the governor's Twitter handle on at least 3 occasions when he said on social day we will continue with the sharing of palliatives, but there wasn't any heads up for this. It just came out of the blues.
We have announced this before that we're going to do it, so there's no need to announce again. So are we going to be repeating we are not broken record. We are not going to be repeating the same thing over and over. We have said it that the 5th round of palliative will be shared, and so when the day is ready and the food were also ready, mind you, this was delayed because COVID itself could not deliver on time. We've been waiting since July that COVID would deliver. When they started giving us Indomie and spaghetti. And the committee that is in charge of food security look at it and say, look, this is Oyo State. This is not just any state. You can't come here and go to town and be distributing Indomie bags and spaghetti to people. And they will look at you that you are not serious. So if you can't give us rice, then please stop this pack of Indomie noodles so that we can buy rice on our own. They now say, okay, we should wait that they will get rice for us. So we've been waiting for their rice since July. And the rice started coming, one truck will come today, another truck will come in 2 weeks, another truck in 3 weeks time. That's why we are here. So now that we have some number of trucks of rice, so that's why we could add up to whatever spaghetti and Indomie that they are giving. And the state also added its own. The state bought some level of rice, bought some other products that we can get here, because locally we make sure that our palliatives have local content, such that whatever money we spend also gets back to our people. So it's like a two-way thing that we do here. So that we didn't announce this one again means that we have already announced. We have already said it in October, and we said it in November that we're going to distribute the 5th round. So now what we did was to get information to those who are affected, so that we go there. So how did the people that you saw on the internet, how did they get to know if there was no message to them?
If they are party faithfuls, they would easily know. It will just go through party structure.
Do they distribute? How many parties in the other states have you seen people gathering and distributing party packs? No, it's not a party thing. Palliative is meant for people. In fact, every Nigerian is in need of palliative, because every person in this country is affected by COVID-19. So there's nobody that is not in need of palliative. Maybe with the exception of a few whom maybe like maybe say those God has buttered their bread or broken their cola. So that a majority of Nigerians need palliatives, yes. So you cannot categorize anybody as party men or party women or whatever. We don't have statistics for party people or party men or party women. When we were distributing the palliatives, 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round, and 4th round, we distributed clearly based on that data that we have collected. So we're doing this one also based on the data we have collected. So it doesn't have to do with party politics. If anybody is trying to badmouth what we do, I've told you, those who are claiming party whatever, let them go look for job to do. Because the civil servants in Oyo State, the lower cadre particularly, the drivers and whatever, they don't have party coloration. So are you saying that the civil servants that are PDP members or what? Have you gone to interview any civil servant to say that I'm excluded because I didn't carry a PDP card? There's no evidence for that. So please don't let anybody give a coloration that is not right. What we are doing here is for the people that are needful and in need for all these palliatives, and we are getting it right. I commend the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters, Baba Lawal, for doing a human job, for getting this right at this time.
I want to thank you, Mr. Taiwo Adisa, for obliging the call this morning. And I wish you a restful weekend and a happy New Year in advance.
Yeah, happy Boxing Day as well. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that was the Chief Press Secretary to the Oyo State Governor, Mr. Taiwo Adisa, speaking on the issue of the state government sharing COVID-19 palliatives to party members and government loyalists. He's made his own clarification. All right, I think it's 13 minutes past 8. I'm going to have to leave the studio earlier than usual today for a paid program to come up. I want to thank you for listening to me all through this year on the Podium and for choosing 32 FM as your favorite radio station. Next Saturday, which will be the 2nd of January, the Podium will return to the airwaves. It will be the start of a new year. Hopefully, new conversations will be engendered in Nigeria, and then older conversations will not stop holding. Nigeria needs to be discussed. Nigeria needs to be talked about. You need to show patriotism, and our leaders must be held accountable for every action and inaction of theirs. One thing I can assure you is that the Podium will not cease to discuss the tough questions. We will not stop interrogating the very difficult subjects in our nation, in our state, and in our community. I ask you to stay with me to do this again next year, like you have done with me this year. My name is HEZEKIAH Oluwaseun Akinrinde. I'm signing out for 2020. 2021, it will be you and me right here on this program. I wish you a happy Boxing Day, happy weekend, and happy New Year in advance. God bless you.